Yeah.
It's George.
It's Elaine.
Come on up.
Hey, Benny, listen to...
I never heard anything like this in my life. Listen to this.
This is exciting! This is exciting! Huh? Did I miss anything already?
Kramer, get in.
Where's the crazy man?
Hey! Sit down. Come on, it's about to start.
Hello and welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Matt.
My name is Vinny.
You testing out those vocal cords since last week's episode? But hi!
Oh, I forgot about that. It's gone. It's dead. It's over for hey.
All right.
Thank God.
Yeah, we're back to our regular theme song this week. I got nothing to say, Vinny. Let's just start talking about this week's episode.
Okay. Out with the old.
What episode, actually, are we talking about today?
We be talking about The Truth, the second episode of Season 3, written by Elaine Pope and directed by David Steinberg, airing September 25th, 1991. Who are all these names?
I don't know, but first, everyone listening, Vinny and I are following the episode order in our DVDs, which might contradict the air date order most online guides. So, listen, get out there, go on Amazon, do what you got to do, pick up Seinfeld on DVD. But if you don't want to, just look at our show notes. We include an episode order guide there that you can follow.
It's worth noting that this is the first Seinfeld episode to be written by a female.
Mm-hmm.
Elaine Pope wrote for Fridays.
She did.
So that's probably where the connection is between how she, became a writer on the show. She also wrote the Fix Up, which we'll see. Is that this season or the next? Okay, this season. And she came up with the story for the Cheever Letters.
Oh, very nice. And actually, she won an Emmy for the Fix Up with Larry Charles. They wrote it together.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to talking more about Elaine Pope's episodes. She also wrote, I saw online, a couple of Murphy Browns, which always makes me think of Elaine.
Yeah.
Anytime someone writes a Murphy Brown.
I think more of Kramer as a Stephen Snell.
Sure. And the director you mentioned, David Steinberg.
Correct.
He's a pretty, I'd say, well-known director, TV director in Hollywood.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first episode since the pilot to be directed by someone other than Tom Sharonis. David Steinberg was hired to direct The Truth and The Tape. And I also saw he has directed 7 Curb Your Enthusiasm episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
He is credited as being a guest host on Fridays in 1981.
Oh, my gosh.
Fridays is like this breeding ground for just talent. So I don't know how it did not become bigger than what it did. Why is it not huge?
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder at the time if it was just sort of considered this...
clone show.
Well, yeah, like this inferior SNL.
SNL's little brother.
Yeah. I kind of equated it to a Mad TV at the time, but Mad TV, I think, was a lot more successful than Fridays.
Mad TV hit a stride.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is... This is completely unrelated to Seinfeld, but is In Living Color or Mad TV more... What was more popular?
I think Mad TV was, but... Personally speaking, I love In Living Color.
I know you got the DVDs.
I have all seasons on DVDs. I grew up with that show. I loved it. Yeah, one of my absolute favorite sketch shows.
But I'm so surprised that Fridays, given all these wonderful comedians being on it, why did it not have more success?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, David Steinberg, though, has, since Fridays, plenty of success other than the Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's directed Friends episodes, Mad About You's. He has his own show on Showtime right now where he interviews comedians. He's a big player in the comedy world. So it's really cool that we're seeing these, I don't want to call them outsiders because obviously they're friends of Larry's and other people working on the show, but just seeing the Seinfeld crew, the family grow a little bit here.
Love it.
Now, before we start talking about this week's episode, I was going to bring this up at the end, but this episode actually marked a substantial drop in viewers since last week's episode, The Note.
So we had a season premiere, and then the viewership dropped after that premiere?
Yes. This episode in particular was the time slot's lowest rated show among the big 3 networks. So,
wow.
It's just interesting to look at Seinfeld as this show that really, I don't want to say it struggled out of the gate, but it was really this show beloved by the network, by, people who work for NBC. And I think they were really championing it to, move forward. And here it finally got the time slot that it was overlooked for so long. And it's not doing so hot.
I'm so thankful that it came out when it did, because any other time past that, it would not have seen the light of day.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been canceled after the first 4, after the pilot. I mean, look at Arrested Development. Like, all these shows have not been given a fair shot, and they had to be revived by the fans. But Seinfeld was given multiple. It really had 9 lives.
Mm-hmm. I remember hearing in interviews Jerry or Larry talking about how, we really were unnoticed for the first 3 seasons. And, as someone who just casually watched the show, I always wondered, is that true, really? Just kind of mind-boggling as to how a show could go this long. And we've only been doing this show, for a couple of months. This is over 2 to 3 years, we're talking here, that this show is struggling at the ratings. Anyways, enough of this gooey show of emotion.
There it is.
You want to get started?
Please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Ah, the extra buttons. Yeah. What kind of a sicko really would save these, have them in a huge file, drawers that wide? You just... Where the hell is that? I mean, is it that hard to get black round buttons that they have to make it into a whole thing? Like, this is such a great jacket. These buttons are so unique, so one of a kind. You'll never find them. We'll save you the trouble of knocking your brains out, because we know they're going to fall off, too. That's the other point that they're trying to make here.
Jerry looks so tan now. The show is dope polished.
You don't like it? Is it too LA for you?
I love it. He looks like he's juicing now. I'm sure he's in great shape. He looks so healthy and he looks so youthful.
You think Jerry's a juicer?
I think back then I could have seen him juicing.
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows? I'm sure Larry did. But anyway, I love the little move he does with the buttons and the drawer move. Mm-hmm. And I love the observation he makes with the jacket, that this is what they're telling you, is that this jacket is a piece of crap. And that's what they're telling you by giving you these extra buttons. Because I always remembered, you look on the inside of your shirt or in the pant, mm-hmm. the pants. There is extra buttons, so everybody has to go through this.
Oh, totally. I like how casual he is too about it. Usually we're like right off on a topic, and this does feel kind of like something he came up with on the spot, which
an aha moment. Yeah,
of course. Like, just the way he treats it. I have to say something about Jerry's stand-up and acting in this episode, too. I feel like he really has elevated himself. Like, just with his delivery, the way he's, I don't know, just interacting with the audience. I mean, he's been doing stand-up for, a long time.
You remember last week when I said we noticed smoke in the background?
Yeah, you did. It's really hard to see. I'm surprised you spotted it.
Oh, I see like a beagle.
Spotting dimes.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. If you remember last week, we were harping on the smoke that we saw in the opening stand-up, and Jerry actually requested smoke to be added during the stand-up scenes to replicate what it's like to be in a smoky comedy club. But it ended up that this effect was too difficult to regulate, so they ended up abandoning it after a couple episodes.
What do you think? They got like a bucket of dry ice back there, and there's some stage hands just waving it forward.
That's good stuff.
It's really kind of hard to see. I think hard to notice. I'm really surprised you spotted it both times, but I don't think this sticks around for that long, right? It's just a couple episodes.
Yeah. So this is the second episode we've seen it in. So it's one thing we can look out for. But
I heard that they filmed the 4 stand-ups. The stand-ups for the first 4 episodes of the 3rd season altogether. So maybe after that 4th episode, the smoke will disappear. First scene, this episode is in Monk's, and it's George is sitting there. This might be the first time we've ever seen George is by himself. The group isn't there.
Correct.
It's just him and this woman, Patrice. They're out to lunch. You have any info on this actress?
So Patrice is played by Valerie Mahaffey. She has no other Seinfeldian connections. The only thing I read about her that I found interesting was that she was born in Indonesia.
Oh, cool.
That's a little feather in her cap. But there's something about this actress that I really like. I really like her face.
Good face. Got a good face.
Yeah, great, nice hue. But I could have seen her coming back to more shows as a double dipper, or even as another girlfriend that maybe Kramer would have dated. Huh. But there's something about her that I like.
That's interesting.
It's like I never remember her name. Carol in the tape.
She might be the character that we've brought up the most on this show, other than the main four.
What is wrong with us?
Patrice, though, before we get into her character here, I actually don't find her that memorable. I think she does a great job as an actress, don't get me wrong, but she only has 2 scenes, and she's just kind of this... As a character, she kind of reminds me of Jerry's girlfriend from the Frogger episode, the one that finishes all of his sentences.
Yeah.
It's like
dating Mad Libs.
There you go. She kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Just a character, a girlfriend that gets under the skin of Jerry or George.
All right, I can see that.
So she is going on and on about how creative her family is, and she wants to work exclusively on her, how do you pronounce this?
Papier-mâché hats.
Right, and she's just going to hang these on the wall. They're not even going to be worn.
Any money in it?
Yeah, this is interesting. George goes after her. He obviously seems pretty annoyed with just her personality.
Oh, he's rolling his eyes left and right.
Which is saying a lot, because it's not like George is any gift to the world.
Yeah.
But George is kind of frustrated here, and it's saying something if George is going to criticize someone else's, choices in life. Like, is there any money in it, considering he's not working at this time?
Well, I think he's driven by money, or at least he's defined by either his cheapness as a sense, or, but he's either without a job or we're discussing his frugality.
Right.
So money is an issue with him.
And Patrice has only come back to George when he criticizes the, kind of the creative arts endeavor is whoso belongs only to his age, references only popinjays and mumbo jumbos.
Good line.
Thomas Carlyle, 1864.
Tommy C.
Now, this scene originally ended with a little bit more from Patrice. Is that right?
Yes. She was sharing this great idea that she had for a tattoo she wanted to get on her back. And Patrice said, it would be written in Japanese, and it would say, and then she walked away. All right.
Yeah, I wonder if that's something that Elaine Pope, the writer, pulled from her real life. Just maybe these annoying people around her that were either really pretentious or just trying to, I don't know what you call it, people that just always seem to have a new thing that they're gravitated towards. I see these chopsticks in Patrice's hair, and I assume that's just a style she's trying for this week. And then next
she's
week...
also wearing the kimono.
Right, she has a kimono on. I wonder if this is just something that she's trying this week. And then next week, it'll be something else. She's constantly reinventing herself.
Did you also, we have the script description of Patrice. She's pretty, but everything is a little strived for. That's how she's defined in the script.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. She's cute, but she just works so hard for her personality, her look. It's a pretty complex character, and I feel like someone, Elaine Pope or whoever, really had to know in their real life. I don't think this is someone you just sit back and, conjure up.
Right. I'd agree with that.
Next scene is at Jerry's apartment, and Jerry and the K-Man sitting at the couch, on the couch, with a bunch of receipts all over the place that are, I guess, dating all the way back to 1985, which at this time, only 6 years ago.
But when you hear that year, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Yet again, Kramer has gotten Jerry into another bind. We're only 20 episodes in, and Kramer has done it again.
He's apologizing for getting Jerry involved with a certain charity. He thought it was legitimate. He didn't realize that Jerry would get audited.
I don't blame you. I blame myself.
Jerry does harp on Kramer a little bit here. He explains, and I love this because it's not only a little bit into Jerry's past, but it has to do with Elaine, like their relationship.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of fun to take all these little bits of info and turn it into kind of the story of Jerry and Elaine while they were dating. But I guess on their first date, they were at Jerry's apartment, and Kramer came barging in asking for him to contribute money to a volcano relief fund for Krakatoa.
Which I always thought was made up.
Yeah.
And I'm not I'm not a history buff. I'm no Keith Hernandez, but this is a real volcano that erupted in 1883, and it was catastrophic, the damage it did.
So this volcano had already erupted, and it was supposed to erupt again?
I believe so. And the damage was still ongoing from it.
Well, hang on a second here. Jerry has receipts dating all the way back to 1985, and we know that he and Elaine dated... Just based off the information we have, they dated sometime in 88.
I'm with you.
Maybe 87. I don't have all of the facts in front of me, but I think we've sort of assumed that. At some point before this show started, they dated.
Okay.
If he were being audited, would he need receipts going all the way back to 85?
I had no idea how an audit would work.
Any of our accountant friends or IRS friends out there, let us know.
Can we get a lifeline here? In an early draft of the script, Kramer actually elaborated as to why he chose that particular moment to intervene on Jane's date and ask for money. And he said, "I knew there was a girl in here. It's like before a movie when they pass around that Will Rogers canister. The only ones who put anything in are the guys on dates," which is a very dated reference, I would say.
A little bit. I don't know if they were doing that in the 80s, asking for donations, but I thought that was a little sneaky of Kramer. Like, he's admitting this was strategic, you know?
Yeah. Oh, he's a little devil.
So I wonder if Kramer was doing this maybe for a girl he was dating at the time, like a girl who was also trying to raise funds, because it seems sort of, at least up to this point, it seems very progressive for Kramer to do something like this, to be like, hey, I found out about this charity. I really want to raise money for it.
Doesn't he say later on it was supposed to erupt, right?
Yeah, maybe he got caught up in the drama of this volcano supposed to erupt.
Well, as we'll see throughout the series, he will become more. He'll have belief in causes, right?
He's more charitable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so maybe this is the first inkling of that.
Elaine arrives, and I gotta say,
Oh.
incredible outfit. She's got this. I don't know anything about fashion or costume design or anything, but this I think might be my favorite Elaine outfit, like throughout the entire series. She's got this flower skirt on, a pink like shirt. I don't know if it's a tank top or a t-shirt, and then she's got the jean jacket, the high socks, and the wall of hair. It looks like it's doing about 3 inches today. You know, It's pretty high, and it's just, I don't know. This is for me the Elaine look. You know, if you were to do a little cartoon sketch, this is what she would be wearing.
I still like the flowery dress with the little like doily looking thing at the top, which is not the appropriate term, with the Botticellis.
The longer dress, right, that goes down to her ankles. Mm-hmm.
And I want to see her with her hands on her hips going, Remy! Even though she's not wearing that in that scene. But anyway, that's my cross to bear.
So this is a first. She goes straight for Kramer and just starts laying into him, saying that if he insists on making pasta in her apartment, don't put the tomato sauce on the pasta while it's in the strainer, because all of the little squares have hardened red sauce in them. Which just, I mean, before we move forward, that's a crazy concept. I can't even imagine someone doing that. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it's weird enough that I've known people that put pasta in the water before it boils. Like, they just put it in cold.
I've seen that.
And they bring, and that like boggles my mind when we're talking about like, you know, pasta and whatnot. But
so then it's just tomato liquid. There's no chunks of tomato or anything.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't. He wants all the sauce to stick to the pasta. Like, he doesn't want all the sauce to, you know, collect in the bottom.
Is he going to use what's collected in the strainer?
I don't think so. If anything, I would just use less sauce.
Yeah, you could do that.
So this is all to say that Kramer is dating Elaine's roommate, Tina, who we met last episode in The Deal.
Love her.
Yeah, she's great. Oh, by the way, the actress who plays Tina, we were mispronouncing her name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's not Sayaban Fallon?
No, it's not Sayaban. It's Shaban.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a botch. My apologies.
I guess I screwed up.
But she does return here, and it's weird. Maybe because she's around for 3 different seasons, only though it's 3 episodes. God, I just feel like she's such a regular on this show.
Left a mark, definitely. Also, she really hit nerves with Elaine. You know, they really butted heads, and you didn't see that too much with Elaine, right?
No, not really. I mean, you see Elaine's frustration grow as the show goes on, but at this point, I feel like Elaine hasn't had too many, you know, kind of like conflicts or run-ins with Kramer.
She's her first real yeah, you're right, and she's the first real adversary that we see Elaine have.
And
I'm sorry, one more thing. She's also brought up the roommate in previous episodes before, so we've had this backstory of, we can always picture Tina even though we haven't been introduced to her until the note.
Or the deal.
Thank you, the deal.
And I never realized this. I know that Kramer and Tina dated, but I never thought, as the show goes on, she is the first girlfriend for Kramer in the show.
Yeah, that blew me away.
That's so weird. So maybe that's why she has such a lasting impression. We've seen Kramer out and about, but she's really I feel like the first character that Kramer really interacts with. We've seen him with Tor Ekman. And we've seen him with a busboy. Like, we've seen him out interacting, but she's really the first person I feel like that brings Kramer out of his shell and into, you know, other than Jerry's apartment. Now to go back to the story, Kramer is I love this part where he's thinking about what Elaine is saying here. He could put the sauce on at any other time. And there's this line here that I think might be one of my favorite Kramer lines of all time. It's all delivery. Mm-hmm. It's all attitude. But he says, no, I like to strain the sauce.
Yeah. And he's backing away from her and just shaking his head. There's a lot of that in this scene. I love his bravado, but I also like when Elaine goes on to say, I could also live without the tribal music and the makeout sessions in the living room. And Kramer, kind of shuffles himself and he goes, yeah, Tina likes the couch. It's so cool.
There's something about Michael. You saw it last episode in the note, seeing him in the Monk's coffee shop for the first time, and now I feel like he's really growing as a character. And we might sound like broken records. We say that every week, but I feel like it's these kind of episodes that encourage or are starting to make the audiences cheer when he shows up.
Yeah.
As we'll see in season 4, they'll start applauding whenever he enters the room.
So then Elaine inquires as to why Jerry and Kramer are going through all these receipts.
What are you doing? What is all this?
Oh, he's helping me sort my receipts. I'm being audited.
You're being audited? What for?
Oh, I contributed money to a charity that turned out to be fraudulent. It's really very boring.
When was this?
Well, a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
I remember you donated to some volcano thing on our first date.
Volcano, really?
Oh, wait a minute. Don't tell me that was
Something to drink?
Would you think that would impress me?
You've got me all wrong. I was thinking only of the poor Krakatoan.
Like you'd make this donation for $50 and I'd start tearing my clothes off?
Those brave Krakatoans east of Java who sacrificed so much for so long.
And now you're being audited because of it. See, that's karma.
No, that's Kramer.
First of all, did you see that Star Wars reference?
Oh, of course. Come on.
Okay. I mean, I always like to throw those your way because I know you're a big fan. And I also, what struck me was Jerry definitely hit that comedic pitch when he delivers the line, "Those poor Krakatoans."
This is the scene. This is the scene that really made me feel like Jerry has stepped up as an actor, or at least in this role. I don't know if he's feeling more confident with the dialogue or his co-stars or what, but he really stepped up, I feel like, with this dialogue here.
Rising to the level of his counterparts. Now, we ended that clip with, you see, that's Karma. No, that's Kramer. There's another Karma Kramer reference in the series.
Karma Kramer?
During the opera. Is that right? When Newman gets the speeding ticket, or the parking ticket, or speeding ticket?
It's a few episodes before that.
Oh, well, I thought it was when he gets kicked in the head by Joe Davola.
Yeah, it's not the opera. It's more like the ticket, the watch. We don't have the episodes in front of us, but
all right.
It's when he gives Newman the helmet.
Buyer beware. Yeah, okay. So I got the story right, just the wrong episode.
I got it wrong too. He gives Newman the radar detector.
Yeah. Oh dear. Are there any other references to Karma and Kramer in the series, or is this it?
I think this is it. I don't think there's any other Karma.
I'm surprised they didn't play on that play on words more often.
Sure.
It's good.
Elaine asks Jerry what he's going to do, and he explains that George has recently become intimate with a female accountant who was formerly at the IRS, and he's given all of his tax info to her. And again, we're getting this he's really comfortable here. The voice is raising up and down.
It's a monologue.
Oh, yeah. The two monologues, or not two monologues, but two, I don't know, just like bits for Jerry to really, really show off his...
They're meaty, yeah.
Yeah. He's not just asking a random question here or there. And I got to say, Jerry is coming off a little cocky.
Yeah. He puts his face right up against Elaine's nose.
Mm-hmm.
The IRS.
Yeah, he's happy. But we cut to Monks, and George is in the middle of breaking up with Patrice.
Of course he is.
Right. He starts coming up with excuses. We've all been here, right? He's riddled with personal problems, fear of commitment, fear of intimacy, which might not be the truth specifically for this breakup, but I feel like that's very true for the George character.
That's true. He's doling them out as cliches, from Patrice's point of view. But yeah, there's a lot of truth behind them. You're right.
He came up with "It's not you, it's me."
Is this the first? And is this who he came up with it with?
Maybe. I feel like he's been using it for a long time. I assume there have been a lot of breakups before this.
It's the first reveal of said phrase.
Now, this whole time, Patrice is trying to figure out what he really means. Is it something to do with, it's something to do with her, and she wants the truth.
Yeah.
Right. What does she say? The earrings.
And the chopsticks.
The chopsticks.
George has a great retort. He's like, I love chopsticks. Personally, I prefer a fork, but they're very nice. And that also reminded me of one of Jerry's bits from I'm Telling You for the Last Time. He does I think we talked about it before on the show, because he does it as a non sequitur where he's like, I tell you what I like Chinese people, as long as we're on the subject, they're hanging in there with the chopsticks. He's like, I don't know where they missed it. Farmer plowing 40 acres with a couple of pool cues.
I have a fear of intimacy.
Don't give me cliches. I have a right to know. What did I do wrong?
Nothing. It's not you.
I want the truth.
The truth? You want the truth? It is your earrings. It is your chocolates. But it's so much more. You're pretentious. You call everyone by their full name. You called my doorman Sammy Samuel. But you didn't even say Samuel. You went Samuel. Papier-mâché? What is papier-mâché?
Keep going.
I think I made my point. I'm sorry if I was a little harsh.
No. I asked for the truth. Thank you for being so honest.
Can I walk you back to work?
I really prefer to go alone. How much do I owe?
Oh, please. $4 is fine.
First of all, I noticed he's channeling his Jack Nicholson.
You know what? I was thinking of starting this week's episode with a little Jack Nicholson impression, but I'm so bad at them.
Working on my Jack Nicholson. That was my George impersonating Jack.
There you go.
I also noticed there's a little vein bulging out of Jason's head.
Oh, really?
You got a little vein.
Oh.
I know about the vein!
Right.
But I noticed that. So that's a real thing. And
Good call. Good pull.
Thank you.
Well, I did notice here that this is a visual thing, that she, as she is frustrated to leave, she grabs 2 items from the table, which I never noticed before.
Oh.
And it's her own salt and pepper shaker, I think.
Wow, I did not pick up on that.
At least a pepper shaker. I don't know what the other item is, but it makes total sense that she would bring, an outside, What is that, a condiment? Spice? Whatever.
Yeah.
She brings an outside item to the restaurant. She needs her own.
Larry would not be happy about that.
Which is kind of funny, though, because George is known for bringing in his own cucumber.
Right.
Jerry's known for bringing in the maple syrup.
As does Kramer.
Yeah, so I guess they're just as pretentious as Patrice is when it comes to outside items.
Condiments, sauces, or whatnot. The fact that George, he breaks up with this woman and in such a harsh fashion, he's brutally honest with her, calls her pretentious right to her face. But then he still offers, can I walk you back to work? And she'll say, I prefer to go alone. But then, what a cherry on top to ask for maybe $4 would cover it. So it's brilliant writing by whoever put that line. There's just...
Well, we're tracking this from almost episode to episode, how cheap he is. And finally someone calls him out this episode about being cheap.
Yeah. Ooh.
I feel like the most frequent example of George being cheap is at Monk's, like whether he's taking tip back from the waitress or... Yeah. He's insisting on paying for his friend's lunch. We're kind of all over the place with this clip we played, but I noticed that George has a doorman for his building, which I thought was interesting because I never really, thought of George as... I don't know why. I just assumed George didn't have a doorman, but I know it's commonplace, but...
Does doorman imply... more expensive apartment?
You can still find plenty of expensive apartments without a doorman in New York, but I don't know. There's just something about a doorman that, to me, says something about your status as a renter or someone that owns an apartment in New York.
So Mr. Pitt had a doorman.
Oh yeah,
as we saw. Okay, I get it.
And also,
yeah, you're right.
Judging from the exterior of George's apartment, we haven't seen it yet, and the interior later on, it doesn't feel like an apartment building that would have a doorman, but. Who the hell knows? We're really reaching here.
Makes for a good joke.
Right. George Bonanza. Now, even though this is such a great rant that George goes on, it originally was a little bit longer.
That's right. George says to her, did you memorize Bartlett's quotations? Does everyone have to be wonderfully creative and inventive? And the adjectives you choose, bravura, pronto, arugula, to which Patrice stops him and she says, arugula is not an adjective, it's lettuce. Well, that's pretty funny.
I wonder if that's like more relevant now since I don't know if arugula has gotten more popular. I'm definitely more aware of it now than I was then.
But I would have loved to hear Jason say arugula because he would have done it in that New York accent. It would have been really good.
This is one of the few times a bit of dialogue has been cut that I would have liked to see it put back in for sure.
Yeah.
To kind of like be on George's side here for once, I kind of agree with him. Like this must be incredibly frustrating to be with someone that acts like this all the time.
Yeah, but that's just who she is, though, right?
That's true.
I guess you could say she's the original hipster, right? Maybe she's just going against the grain a little bit, but she's done nothing wrong. But I do understand why George would, sigh and roll his eyes at her. But I feel bad for her in that she's done nothing wrong.
Yeah. Now I'm so easy to like mold and shape, my opinion, but
crucify her.
It is kind of a jerk thing to let this boil up and just like lay into her. Why not just, calmly and collectively break up with her? Next scene is at Jerry's apartment. And it's interesting. We get this in the beginning and at the end too, when we're at Elaine's apartment and the mental institution. Obviously it's not a mental institution, no. But we're getting two different scenes and we're just cutting between them.
You're right.
I noticed a lot, just like the characters are in their respective locations and we just, literally cut in between the conversations. Now we're at Jerry's. He goes on to saying how he would strangle, which I thought was kind of graphic. He would strangle Kramer with his bare hands if he didn't have Patrice to help him out.
And the blocking of the shot is really nice because you have Jerry and Elaine on the couch talking, but with the space in between them, Kramer is in the background sitting at the kitchen table. And his eyes immediately dart up when Jerry delivers that line. You're
right. That it is really good blocking. And it's nice to notice, especially since we have a new director this episode.
Mm-hmm. Good on you, Steinberg. Although Andy Ackerman, when he's another director that's going to come into play later in the series, but he did a lot of he did crane shots and all sorts of weird little things to really give the show some dimension. So we'll get into him in 2012. What year is this? Years down the line. Oh, man.
And this line here when Jerry is talking to Elaine about an audit, what it's like, it's the financial equivalent of a complete rectal examination. That is a line I have stolen from the Seinfeld world and used many times in real life and not given the show credit for. Like I pretend it's my own.
Shame on you.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I just love that. That always gets a laugh.
And Jerry even does a little bit of impersonation when he says, I would have killed this man. Torn his limb from limb, ripped the flesh right off his bones. Yeah. Doesn't he?
Yeah. No offense. I think Jerry is going a little far.
Oh, here we go.
Well, he's doing such a good job, this line, with the delivery, and now it's like this. Is that a British accent he's doing?
Yeah, well, he does the Cockney accent coming up pretty soon.
Not bloody likely. George buzzes, and he's on his way up, and Jerry reveals a little bit of info here.
Ah, there he is, the man himself, George Louis Costanza. Here I am about to go to the electric chair. My oldest friend is dating the governor. So we got the middle name.
Yes, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. We got George Louis Costanza. We've already heard Elaine's?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But we have talked about George's middle name, I think, being Louis in an early episode of Seincast.
Okay.
Just because this bit of trivia makes sense, that Louis is a tribute to Lou Costello from Abbott and Costello, who I think we've brought up from time to time as sort of this inspiration for the back and forth comedy of this show.
Oh, yeah. Now, spoiler alert, Elaine's is Marie, and Jerry will actually say this, Elaine Marie Bennis. Does Jerry have one in the show?
Well, he's called Jerome, so I think that's his full name. Oh, well, in this episode, she calls him Jerome. But I feel like other characters have. I assume that's Jerry's full name.
Yeah. And I think his middle name in real life is Alan, if I'm reaching. Anything to eat around here?
Now, before George comes up, we have a great example here of the writers using, letting the story determine how long the trip up the stairs is or the elevator ride. Because maybe, I don't know, the quote you gave, 5-6 seconds it takes to say that, George is already upstairs.
Right.
So either he teleported or the elevator was right there waiting for him.
He's really good at throwing his voice, I would reckon.
Right. So George enters and he's really excited going on about how his whole life, it's been a waste of time. All he has to do from now on is tell the truth. And did this remind you of like another episode at all? To me, it just kind of reminded me of the opposite a little bit. George kind of figures out this, he's been doing it all wrong. Whether or not the opposite, telling people the opposite of what he was going to say is in fact the truth, or just maybe what's on his mind more. It just feels like kind of a trick George picks up on.
I could see that. Well, yeah. This one ends up backfiring in his face, but I do get that he's being brutally honest. In this instance, he was pushed. She kind of goaded him into revealing it, so he did it in a fit of, not rage, but, he's like, it is your earrings! He was kind of pushed to that point versus he's trying out something. It's an experiment, and he does it with confidence in the opposite.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I do agree that they are similar.
I guess it's debatable, and you have to look at it case by case, but you think the truth and the opposite of what you're going to say, they do overlap from time to time.
Yeah.
So Jerry, of course, asks if he gave Patrice his papers, but George says no because he broke up with her. And man, this scene, Kramer just walks out upon hearing this.
So if you look, Jerry reaches for some orange juice or something. Jerry does not even finish setting the glass down before Kramer is out of there. It's so good.
Yeah, excellent timing on Michael Richards' part. And I feel like the audience really picks up on this because they go just crazy. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't find it that funny, but I think it's just the timing.
It adds to the scene rather than Kramer just sitting there.
So this is, Jerry flipping out, which I feel like since the robbery, we haven't really seen Jerry getting really upset at someone.
Since the door must be closed, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm being audited, and you broke up with her. And of course, George thinks she'll still do it. Why would she?
No reason at all. This is an example of George backpedaling, trying to be like, oh no, I didn't make a huge mistake. He's so afraid of admitting that I screwed up.
It's kind of like in when he was dating Marlene and he was so happy to just be out of there and be broken up with her that he forgot to get his books. Now this time he forgot to consider Jerry's motives of getting his papers to this former accountant.
Yeah, because he just gave Patrice the papers at lunch, presumably. Yeah. And you would think that, George's emotions really get the better of him. He could have just said to himself, let Patrice do this for Jerry, and then I'll break up with her. Or you could even tell Jerry, hey, I really want to break up with this woman. I can't stand her, but, I'll be with her long enough for her to take care of your papers.
That'd be a real scumbag thing to do, though. So the fact that George is so impulsive makes me respect him more, rather than, you know what I mean? He lets his emotions get the better of him versus...
It's something I would do, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. It's very Matt to do that.
But, George says, like you mentioned, George thinks Patrice will still do it, even though he called her pretentious.
What did you tell her? I told her that she was pretentious.
Pretentious? The woman has my tax papers. You told her she's pretentious? The IRS. They're like the mafia. They can take anything they want.
How would you like it if someone told you the truth?
Like what? What could they say?
There are plenty of things to say.
Like what? I'm bald? What is it specifically? Is there an odor I'm not aware of? What? Give me one.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. You're extremely careful with money.
What?
Forget it.
I'm cheap? You think I'm cheap?
See?
How could you say that to me? I can't believe this. How could you say that to me?
You asked me to.
You should have lied.
So should you.
Okay, wait a second. What happened to my papers?
I'm not really working right now.
I know.
When I was working, I spent, baby.
I love George in this scene, mainly because for the first time he's really vulnerable, and he really seems he's on the defense, which I like seeing. I like when George has to kind of defend himself. He just gets so he just sets himself up, thinks there's nothing Elaine could say that would knock him down, and probably I think she got him right where it counts. This issue of money, because we've debated from time to time what really defines George. Is it his insecurity with women? Is it money? And I feel like this is really at the heart of George, this issue of money. It's debatable.
Yes. Even prior to revealing what that truth is that Elaine had in her back pocket, she really struck a chord with him. And like you said, he became immediately on the defensive. And he kept naming these things. Is this, is that, But even the way she delivered it, it was one of those roller coaster deliveries that Larry David always points out makes Julia very unique. You're extremely careful with money. And she makes that face like, is that okay? Did I just say that? And Jerry's shaking his head.
George does bring it up, but is it because he's not working? I feel like even if he's working, he'd be... No, what am I saying? He wins money on the stock market and he's still cheap.
And he still picks that dollar out of the waitress's grasp.
Yeah, he's full of it. And I do love... God, I love these firsts, but when I was working, I spent baby. We got that first baby.
Now, this is the first baby, but I didn't realize this. That baby was added during rehearsals.
Wow, so that
isn't that crazy?
So was that something that Jason came up with on the spot?
Perhaps.
I like to think that. All the props to Elaine Pope for writing a really funny episode, but I would hate to think that she came up with a baby. I like that could have been something Jason came up with.
Yeah, something innate in the actor told him to say baby at that point. Mm-hmm. And that become actually a pivotal, point of one of George's deliveries throughout the series.
What are you doing, George, now?
Yeah, exactly. George gets defensive over Elaine accusing him of being cheap, and there was additional dialogue in the scene where George said he paid for dinner. He's like, well, I paid for dinner in an Indian restaurant. And Elaine replies, you had half-price coupons. And George asks, how'd you know that? And Elaine says, I saw you huddling with the manager. They could have kept that in. I think that would have been good.
Yeah. Well, especially George getting so, how'd you know that?
Yeah. It's like the red dot. She tricked you, you idiot.
I'm not afraid to admit this because my wife doesn't listen to this podcast.
Go on. Ooh,
but
this is gonna get juicy.
Well, when we were dating, the first year of dating, I took her to a really nice restaurant, and I actually had I don't know exactly what the coupon was, gift card. I don't know, what do you call it, but it was $100 credit to this really nice restaurant. So our bill went from being like $200 down to $100. But at the time, it just seemed like I was really, high roller.
Yeah.
And to this day, I don't think I mean, it's not like I lied to her. Oh, God.
She doesn't know. Ooh, we got dirt on them, people.
Does that make you a liar, though, if you...
No, I'm not a liar.
I mean, because she has from time to time brought up that, that was a really nice restaurant we went to. We haven't been back.
I say you take it to the grave.
No, but everyone else knows, so... joke's on you guys. I'm not married. So Jerry wants to know what happened to his papers, and George says that she took them, so he tries to call Patrice's office. And another one of those, it doesn't make me really uncomfortable, but one of those just weird, somewhat dark moments where there's no laughter. And
it gets serious real fast.
Yeah, George is saying that she never came back from lunch, so he calls her apartment, and he talks to her briefly, but she hangs up while he tries to find out if she's okay.
Are you okay?
Oh my God. Would you want to talk? If you were upset and someone on the other line had that voice, that delivery, are you okay? I would not want to talk with them.
It reminds me of there's a scene in one of the Curb Your Enthusiasm seasons where where Larry has his eardrum has been irritated because of the loud toilet flush. There's like a sonic boom, but the
lefty call.
Exactly. He infuriates this other woman. I think criticizing her for having too many children. And he calls the woman to apologize, and the woman says, "Are you listening, Larry?" And she screams into the phone, "F you!" And Larry starts clutching his ear. Ah! But I could have seen Patrice yelling into the phone that way, damaging George's eardrum.
Oh gosh, anytime you make me think of a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment, I just get so excited to cover those episodes.
It's gonna happen.
Oh, one of these days. It's a very polarizing show, though. It'll be interesting to see how many, people that put up with us on Seincast because they just love Seinfeld so much. How many actually carry over to Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I would guess 50%.
You think so? Because with Curb, it's interesting. You can be a Seinfeld fan and not like Curb, but I don't see who would like Curb and not like Seinfeld.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting study if we can make that happen. All Curb fans love Seinfeld, but not all Seinfeld fans love Curb. Should we be talking about this?
And we get out of the scene, Jerry realizing this is not good, and George tries to comfort him, saying that he'll talk to Patrice tomorrow. And we have one of these weird kind of transitions. We're still in Jerry's apartment, but it's assumingly it's the next day, right?
Yeah, because different clothes. It's bright. Definitely different.
And at
Kramer's back.
Yeah, Kramer's back holding a big piece of glass. If you look at it, it doesn't feel like a windshield.
It looks like the windshield to a Jeep.
Yeah,
because it's really narrow, or it's long, but it's compact. It doesn't look like a traditional car windshield.
Yeah, I have a pretty small compact car, and I feel like my windshield is a lot bigger than this one.
Yeah.
Kramer says that he found the windshield on the side of the road, and he can't believe someone threw it out. He wants to make a coffee table actually out of it for Tina.
Coffee tables?
Yeah, very very interesting. I totally forgot that this was a subplot for this episode.
Yeah,
and we got this the prelude to the coffee table storyline,
which is huge.
Is this what sparked his imagination? At one point,
I would think so. Maybe he had such a profound connection with Tina that this is his way of remembering her. By making
like she dies.
The opening, the dedication in the book is like to Tina, my everything, my umbasa and umbala. I don't know.
So Jerry has buzzed up Elaine at this point, and oh god, this is something else I completely forgot about from this episode. But things are a little awkward, and I feel like we're getting everything but Jerry's delivery of what's all this about.
Right. Elaine comes in and she looks at Kramer. She goes, "Hello,
Mrs. Doubtfire."
It's with you two, yeah. Hello.
What's with you two?
You haven't told him?
Tell me what?
Go ahead. Tell him.
I saw her naked.
He saw me naked. Kramer saw me naked.
Well, it was an accident.
Who walks into a woman's bedroom without knocking? I want to know.
I thought it was a closet. Completely naked? Completely naked.
Jerry, how can I go on?
All right, I'll tell you what. It's gonna make you feel any better, you can see me naked.
No, thank you.
No, I want you to see me naked.
No.
No, I want to show you.
No, Jerry!
Just a second. Let's not lose our heads here. Now, Kramer, you're always welcome in my home, but as far as Mr. Johnson is concerned, that's another story.
Now, I got a couple things with this wonderful scene. First, Elaine's workout outfit is quite antiquated. She's got the leg warmers. She's got the spandex pants. You see midriff showing, but it's got like I don't know why I'm judging so hard, but it I don't know. It screams early '90s to me. So that was the first thing. Second thing is, why would Kramer be looking for the closet, right, and stumble into Elaine's bedroom? Like the audience went really nuts for that. I was looking for the closet, and then they started gasping.
Turns into like a Fox show where they starts applauding and
woo. Another thing that jumped out to me was Julia's physical comedy is really quite amazing, and we see a lot of that with the little kicks later on in the series. But the way Jerry, how can I go on? And she like contorts her body. It's really quite amazing.
You're totally right about her like physical comedy, because in this I completely forgot about this, and I don't really know what she's trying to send, like the message, but I love it. She kind of hides behind Jerry while he's talking to Kramer. Like they're freaking out about Kramer taking his clothes off, and she she cowers, not cowers, but like hides behind Jerry and just kind of like looks up and has this very like frightened, concerned look on her face.
It looks like a horror movie.
Yeah, kind of.
Another character trait I really liked is Kramer is so quick and free to want to show his body to right this wrong of seeing Elaine naked.
Yeah.
He's completely uninhibited.
And I mean, God, I can't believe we've gone this far without mentioning it, unless it's in your notes, but this is almost a direct parallel of the Hamptons episode where Jerry's girlfriend Rachel sees George naked, and he wants to see Elaine naked, and
as restitution.
Restitution, right? It punishes Elaine.
Reparations!
But this whole idea of, hey, if I see you naked, you can see me naked, and that should just make everything equal.
So there's that. Another thing that stuck out to me, Jerry refers to Kramer's unit as Mr. Johnson. Now, are there any other euphemisms in the series other than it?
Gosh, I was just about to say. It we brought up last week, I think, right? Yeah, I think it moved. This idea of it being this almost like the universal term for male genitalia.
I thought of, he took it out. That's what struck me.
But Mr. Johnson, that seems to be, I don't want to say that's lowbrow for the show, because it's not like I'm offended or I'm disgusted by any means, but...
Or my boys.
Oh, yeah, my boys need a house. That's a great point, yeah.
Do you think I'm depleted? For women, it's below the equator.
Yeah.
A hazy mystery, a deep yawning chasm. But, I was trying to figure out if there were any more reference in the series.
Yeah, just on the spot, it's really hard for me to think of any, but... I don't know if anyone else, if you don't feel weird sending us euphemisms for genitalia that was used on this show, let us know. Before we get out of the scene, Kramer shows Elaine the new coffee table, and she sets up the idea that I'm going to kill myself on that thing because it's so hard to see. Mm-hmm. And George enters looking really defeated. He didn't talk to Patrice. He didn't get Jerry's papers. And he tells everyone that Patrice is in a mental institution.
Hang on to your butts.
I'm going to use that. We then move into a little bit of stand-up.
Why is it so difficult, uncomfortable to be naked? It's because when you have clothes on, you can always kind of make those little adjustments, which people love to do. Feel like you're getting it together. Yeah, look pretty good. Feeling good, looking good, But when you're naked, it's like, it's so final. You're just, that's it. There's nothing else I can do. That's why I like to wear a belt when I'm naked. Because I feel it gives me something. I'm naked, but, I'd like to get pockets to hang off of the belt. Wouldn't that be the ultimate thing? To be naked and still be able to do this. I think that would really help a lot.
Well, I'm thinking of the season 9 episode, right?
The good naked and bad naked.
When he has that sander, does he have a tool belt on?
I think he does.
He might, or it might just be the sander, but somewhat true.
I'm always thinking of him doing the ape impression where he's hitting himself in the head and he's got his lip curled. But this is true. This is true. When you're naked, that's it. There's nothing to adjust. And every time somebody stands up and has to pull their shirt down or pull their pants up, you really do feel like you're getting it together. So it was a spot on observation by JS.
All right, let's take a short break.
All right.
In the heart of the nation's capital, in a courthouse of the U.S. government,
we follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal.
One man will stop at nothing to keep his honor, and one will stop at nothing to find the truth.
You men follow orders or people die.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth! Son, we live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You?
Okay, we're back.
Now we're back in Jerry's apartment. Interesting to note, Vinny, we've had stand-up dropped into the middle of a conversation. We've had stand-up be an act break. This is the first time we get a scene broken up by stand-up and an act break. So we're back literally in the middle of this conversation that we were having between Jerry and George.
It'd be interesting to splice out the stand-up and then kind of see how the conversation goes when it's a really long-winded one.
Right. I think George he's not in the same spot as before, but like almost like there was a few seconds worth of the scene that was, cut out. But all in all, it flows seamlessly into this. Kramer asks if anyone saw Cuckoo's Nest.
I like the way he refers to it as that.
It's just Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
What is a long title? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He brings this up because they put electrodes on your head when you're in a mental institution. Have you ever seen Cuckoo's Nest?
I do. I own it.
Oh, you do? Nice.
Yeah.
That movie, man, for years, that was my favorite movie. Like as a teenager and going into college, I just love that movie. Still do, but I think other movies have taken its spot.
I love all the references to it too. The Simpsons comes to mind.
Oh yeah.
And then It's Always Sunny did a wonderful tribute to it as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those. God, it must be one of the most parodied movies.
Yeah.
By comedy shows, other than that's not a Kubrick movie. But George clarifies that it's not really a mental institution; it's more like a depression clinic. Are there such things as depression clinics, like specifically?
I've never heard of that term before. So.
But George says it's out at Woodhaven, which I was a little, I don't know, as I was watching the episode, I was doing a little research. That's a neighborhood in Queens, Woodhaven, which is what I thought he was talking about at first. But judging from the establishing shot in the next scene, it's obviously like in the country somewhere.
Okay.
So it's probably upstate, upstate, or
Anytown, USA.
Anytown, USA. Might be Woodhaven, Connecticut. There is an actual Woodhaven, Connecticut.
All right.
But anyways, just throwing that out there.
Okay. Are you through? Well, I wanted to talk about how Elaine asks, "Oh, where'd you find this out?" George says, "Her roommate. I've driven women to lesbianism before, but never to a mental institution." Now that's pretty telling, I thought, because I thought Susan was the first person he drove to lesbianism, but we find out he's already done this before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this was more of a throwaway line just for this little quick joke.
And it became maybe like the germ for the idea.
Perhaps because he was so blown away when he found out that Susan was a lesbian in the smelly car.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one thing that stuck out to me. Then Kramer's next line, my friend Bob Sacramento had shock treatments, but his synapses were so large it had no effect. Poor Bob Sacramento.
Yeah.
in the few times he's been referenced in the first 3 seasons, he's had a botched hernia operation. He's had shock treatments. And it's only season 3. Like, he's been through some shit.
But yeah, man, he's not doing well.
But I can understand why him and Kramer are friends now.
Right. That line, though, about driving women to lesbianism, but never to a mental institution, I
feel that way too?
I don't know, actually. I don't keep in touch with any of my exes, but I think it's a hilarious line, and I think it's like one of George's best lines.
Doesn't George have a similar line in the smelly car when he finds out Susan is a lesbian? Doesn't he say, "I've driven"?
Oh, you mean with Mona? When Kramer when Mona, Susan's girlfriend, falls in love with Kramer, George is like, "I drive him to lesbianism." He pulls him back.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it does kind of come back full circle in a sense.
I like that.
So Jerry asks again about his papers, and George thinks they're still with Patrice, so they decide to head up to Woodhaven. And in the next scene, I love this, just Jerry and George. This is just, I feel like Seinfeld 101 from like season 1, pretty much. Just the two of them sitting in this mental institution, depression clinic.
Just two guys talking, that's all.
Yeah. But George is nervous, though, since he's never spoken to a mental patient before. And Jerry goes on this great thing about his cousin Douglas.
Who's cousin Douglas? Do we know that?
Another random character you never hear about ever again.
So it can't be Leo's son. So
he might have been present in the pony remark at Manya's.
You're right. He could have been that young the doctor that Morty was trying to get the note written for. That could have been him. He looks like a Douglas.
That would be scary though if a doctor though was.
Where's a Pepsi?
Yeah. So let's talk about this breakdown that Douglas had. He came over to his house, I assume like when Jerry was younger, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
His parents' house. There was no soda and he went berserk.
You know who they could have got to play Douglas is Macaulay Culkin's brother, Kieran Culkin.
Fuller?
That's why. Easy on the Pepsi.
I should be in a place like this. I envy this woman. You get to wear slippers all day. Friends visit, they pity you. Pity's very underrated. I like it. It's good. Plus, they give you those word association tests. I love those.
Oh, they're great. There's no wrong answer.
Potato.
Tuberculosis.
Blanket.
Leroy.
Grass.
Tuberculosis.
I like his justification for wanting to be in a mental institution. People pity you, your friends visit, and you get to wear slippers all day, and you get to play word association. It's really a good justification.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Such a weird moment here with the word association.
Jerry's having such a great time, and I think we like to do this as a joke, but nobody ever laughs at it. One other thing that I thought was kind of interesting was George embraces being in an institute at this point, but later in season 4, Jerry will be the one who insists that George have a team of psychiatrists studying him. You need a team. not the $75 an hour. You need like the people in Vienna, So that reminded me of that.
So Patrice comes out, but before we get there, and this is the moment, this cut into Elaine's apartment is what reminded me of the first scene. You're getting a lot of cuts between these two different scenes. But Elaine arrives home, and we just get this African, this African tribal music just blasting, and the kitchen's a mess.
Ooh, and can I, what we hear in the background, can I do it?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Kramer. And Elaine is repulsed.
Oh yeah, she has this she's picking up the place and she just looks up as she hears Tina say that. Now we get this just classic moment, and it just sucks we're an audio podcast only because it's just such a great moment.
You see this gangly fellow in the distance in nothing but a towel, and he's doing a wonderful dance, a seductive dance.
This is the clip show moment from this episode, something that I feel like they play in montages.
Mm-hmm.
And he's holding a flower for some reason, which I feel like was his, like
Ooh.
Michael Richards. He picked something up in this just to carry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm amazed that towel stays on so well. I wonder if it's if it's buttoned or
it's got to be cinched with a safety pin or something.
Something. Now he's dancing, doing his thing, jamming out to this tribal music, and Elaine spots him, and she's, freaking out. But it's kind of weird. You get this shot of Tina around the corner, and she's just standing in the doorway. Did you notice that?
When she cinches her robe tight and she's like, Kramer, come back to bed.
So this is before that, when she hasn't entered the scene yet. And part of me is saying, oh, well, Tina's just listening to the conversation. But for the sake of like TV production, you wouldn't have if you wanted a character to be seen, you'd see their whole body. You wouldn't just see their shoulder. I feel like she's off her mark just a little bit. She shouldn't be seen yet.
Okay.
And what's also weird is that Kramer and Tina came from Elaine's bedroom.
Ooh.
Or unless...
That'll melt your face.
Yeah, well, in the deal, remember when Elaine grabbed all those paper towels and she goes into the bedroom?
Yeah.
And drops them off? So maybe then they were in Tina's bedroom. Either way, someone's having sex in the other person's bedroom.
Something is amiss at Elaine's apartment.
I guess it could be said that they switched apartments at some point between the seasons.
That's right. She's also wearing Elaine's earrings, so why not sleep in her bed?
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I would be furious if my roommate that I don't like is having sex with someone that's, Kramer, come on.
And what is this? A prophylactic rapper? So, do we know under what circumstances that Tina met Kramer?
Yeah, we don't actually. Maybe they met in one of her improv classes.
Yeah.
Maybe something Kramer would do.
I think they're a wonderful match. I kind of wish we could have saw more into that relationship. That would have been great. Great stuff.
Out of all of the Kramer girlfriends, I don't think anyone's been a better fit for him than Tina.
His first was the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do we say her name again?
Oh, Siobhan. Siobhan Fallon. And actually, at the time, she was known as Siobhan Fallon, but she's since been married, and she's now known as Siobhan Fallon Hogan.
Okay.
We haven't really featured this on the podcast per se, but I think it was around this time. Maybe it was actually later in the season, but when Jerry's on Saturday Night Live, Siobhan Fallon was a cast member. So they have a scene together, which is kind of cool.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. Getting back to the scene, though, real quick, this is just a little bit of random trivia. Kramer offers Elaine some yambalas and sambusa if she's hungry. And did you look into this at all?
No. does Kramer say this in another episode somewhere?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, he says Mbasa when he...
Mbasa, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Machu Picchu.
And then he calls Newman Mogambo.
Mogambo. The way he says it, it reminds me a little bit of rose hips and bioflavonoids.
There you go.
But,
I agree with that.
Yeah. The sambusa is, I guess it's Arabic, and it's an egg roll with ground beef, lamb, and vegetables. I'm sorry, ground beef or lamb. Sounds really good. But I was a little confused about the yambalas, and maybe someone out there can help us out. But I Googled yambalas, and all I found was that it's a village in the northern Central African Republic.
Okay.
I don't know if it's an actual food.
Is it a delicious village?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways.
One other thing I wanted to point out is when Tina says, "Oh, hi, Lane. What do you think of the coffee table?" After Tina delivers that line, you can hear Jerry laughing off camera.
Can you?
Yeah, and he does that, that kind of like really bassy kind of laugh. Since we've been kind of pointing those out lately.
What did you think of the coffee table?
So Kramer asks Elaine, is everything cool or what?
So, I don't know if it was your delivery or just like Kramer saying that. It's so random.
Yeah, and Tina's like, yeah, you seem a little bit dysfunctional. She's so fun to do. I love Tina's voice. But I notice, Tina demands, come on, just tell us the truth. Elaine, on the other hand, compared to George, has much more restraint in the situation. Although the scene's not finished yet, but as
she's
we're
thinking about it.
Oh, she wants to let loose and unleash.
How that would backfire in a big bad way, though, because you not only potentially lose a roommate or, move out, you got Kramer to deal with too.
Yeah.
So they ask for the truth. She just stands there, and we cut back to Woodhaven. Patrice is pretty standoffish. I have no idea why you like this character.
She's got a face, and I don't know. But I want to see her as a different character, as another girlfriend of either Jerry's or even Kramer. I could see her as she's a redhead, so bring her back as Kramer's girlfriend.
Oh, so I'm sorry. You were saying, I totally misheard you. You're saying that she would be a good double dipper. I
like the actress.
You like the actress. Got it.
Yeah. I'm done with Patrice. She's done.
It's
sorry. It's over for Patrice. But I'd love to see
Valerie Mahaffey.
Valerie Mahaffey.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you like Mahaffey of my sandwich? Okay.
God.
I'm sure she heard that one before. I'm sorry.
I hate saying this. I don't think she heard that one before.
No, we're riffing.
No, I'm ignoring.
Yeah, Patrice comes out and she goes, "Who are you?" "Oh, this is my friend Jerry." And that patronizing little wave that Jerry gives. George is such an ass in this scene. Why are you talking like that? What do you want?
He is being careful though. Like even though George, you could take another scene. He acts like this and he's being a total jerk. I think he is doing this out of care. He's worried for Patrice's health, maybe. And we get that great line from George that I referenced earlier when she goes after him, George called me pretentious. And he's like, who isn't pretentious? If everyone who's pretentious was in a mental institution, obviously this isn't a mental institution.
And Jerry is smiling the whole time, agreeing with George. As soon as George realizes what has been said, Jerry is immediately stops dead in his tracks and starts shaking his head no.
I can't say that Jerry is in the background this episode. If anything, every character is in the spotlight, like an equal amount.
Yeah.
And I should say this for reviews, but Jerry is just shining this episode. Like he is so good in just these little working off his co-stars. She gets a little hot here and tells him not to lie, and he shouts back at her that I'm not a liar.
To which
sorry.
go ahead.
It's not liar, it's liar. I'm not a liar.
And then the orderlies come out and the doctors, poking their heads out of the back room. And George stands up. He's like, everything's cool. We're cool. That's a good line.
I know what you said. You can't change that.
What I said? I say stupid things all the time. I can't go 2 minutes without saying something stupid.
It's one stupid thing after another. So let me ask you, when you come in one of these places, what do you bring, your pocketbook?
You should be the one criticizing me. I'm lucky to even know someone like you.
Do you mean that?
Of course I mean that. I'm incapable of guile.
He's never guiled. Some women keep a lot of important papers in their pocketbooks. Like, for example, someone else's personal financial papers.
papers. Oh, Jerry, you're the Jerome with the tax problem. You know, after that day with George, I got so cuckoo, I threw out all your papers. So I'd love to help you, but I'll just need the copies.
There are no copies.
So, are you saying you want to continue seeing me?
Who makes copies?
I feel a little bad for Jerry here. You know, like he hasn't really done anything wrong, but to be fair, shouldn't he have made copies?
He should have, yeah. I think he's being downright selfish in this scene because this woman is having a mental breakdown. And he's like, so when you come to this place, what do you bring? Pocketbook? You know, like he's probing because he's only concerned about his financial papers.
I guess I could see where you're coming from, but what is he supposed to do? Just not try to get him back?
You're right.
And what are the papers exactly? Do we know?
Again, I don't have the slightest idea.
I just don't see what these papers could contain that couldn't be replaced. So we go back now to Elaine's apartment, and Elaine answers Tina's question to tell them the truth, you know, like...
I think that you two make a very nice couple.
She walks off, which is honestly what I would do. I assume you would be the same kind of guy.
Yeah.
Just totally lie. She walks off while Tina turns the music back on, and she starts like backing into like Kramer's hips. It's just like,
damn.
It's awesome. Like these two are so physically too, just so good for each other. Kramer flips the lights off, and they just they disappear out of frame. And I thought it's interesting. Kramer says, "Let's head to the couch."
Yeah.
So he's the one that's suggesting the couch
because he knows how much Tina likes it.
Oh, is that it? I thought that
so.
He was trying to like blame Tina for that when Elaine confronts him. He's like, "Oh, Tina likes the couch."
I'm sure it's debatable.
Okay. We're nitpicking the hell out of this when all of a sudden the glass table breaks. So I assume, picturing it, Kramer like might have like just pushed Tina presumably onto the couch, and he just pushed her right onto the table.
Or he could have picked her up and carried her romantically, but just ends up crashing right into the glass.
That's true, and Kramer is a little cut up, and he's got a hurt arm in the next scene, so he obviously got some. He's
all banged up.
Yeah, he's all banged up.
It's funny. Tina gets banged up in this one, and then Toby gets banged up in her episode. She loses that pinky toe.
Oh, so Kramer's got a weird like kind of fetish for
damaged redheads.
Yeah.
Watch out, ladies.
Next scene is at Jerry's apartment, our last scene of the episode, and
does that cordless phone just jump off the screen at you? It's so big and intrusive.
Does it have the is it not an antenna? What is that?
Yeah, the antenna. It's the retractable antenna, and it's really long. But man, I see that, and I think back to being a kid because we had that. I used to use it as a sword.
Sword, yes.
Yeah, and I'd get yelled at for doing that.
Well, Jerry's on the phone with some random store in Midtown. He's trying to get a receipt for a computer he bought there in 1987, which I love that little bit of trivia. I mean, that's like a tiebreaker question. What year did Jerry buy his computer?
Mm-hmm.
And he remembers he talked to a guy in a maroon sport jacket, and he might have had a toupee.
No, it was a weave.
Oh. Well, Jerry hangs up, and he asks if George or Elaine wants to come down with him to 48th Street, where the store was. Which seems appropriate, because all in Midtown, like that Broadway area, there's just a bunch of electronics stores. And Elaine,
when you're alone and there's no one to call,
you can always go Midtown. Well, Elaine can't, right? Because she has to visit Tina in the hospital, which is it's so funny, but it's really dark if you think about it. Like she was cut so deeply that she might have died.
We see how bad Kramer is if he is the one who threw Tina into the glass coffee table windshield. She's got to be pretty banged up.
Yeah. George can't because he's going to a poetry reading with Patrice, which this seems to be a reoccurring theme throughout the episode. Characters, a character that doesn't want to be with, a boyfriend or girlfriend, and then by the end they have to be. It's like the tan girl.
The carrot.
Yeah, the carrot.
Oh, Mr. Potato, you are so good.
And the other girl that won't launch the.
Turn your key, Mara.
And then again with Jerry dating the girl in the Frogger, this.
Yeah.
It's just really interesting, and it's so it's kind of like a go-to story element for the characters to. All right, we have to we have to screw our characters over somehow. All right, let's just put them back to where they were when the episode started.
Kramer with Hildy.
Oh yeah, God, Hildy. She's terrifying. This poetry reading though that he's going with Patrice. Now this reminded me a little bit of this is really reaching, but
I know what you're gonna say.
In the baby shower. Is this what you're thinking of?
No, I was thinking of what's her name's one woman show.
Sally Weaver.
Yeah, Sally Weaver's. Go ahead, yours is better.
Yeah, I was thinking of the baby shower when George talks about Leslie, the girl he used to date that threw chocolate syrup on him. She used to
cook a dinner for God.
Yeah, she dragged George down to a warehouse on the waterfront in Brooklyn. So.
Oh yeah, yours is much better than mine.
Oh, look at that. I got a compliment.
You got one.
Oh, right on.
Savor the flavor, kid.
Write that down 1 second. And Kramer enters, face all bandaged up, as we mentioned, arm in a sling. It looks like he just got some scratches, though. Nothing life-threatening.
He's got that, every time Kramer gets hurt, he's got that big bandage around his head.
Oh, yeah.
Because the hair is always popping out of it. It makes it quite funny.
That's a good point.
Hiya, Mike. Carol.
So he makes plans with Elaine to join her on her way to the hospital, and Jerry's going to join them because they're going to 48th Street, and man, frickin' George getting in on that.
Hey. Are you going to the hospital now?
Yeah, I suppose I...
All right, great. We'll share a cab.
Oh, you're going by 48th Street. You can give me a ride.
Hey, I'm getting in on that.
Yeah.
You know you're chipping in.
You're going that way anyway.
I could argue that this is one of those just annoying, like, this, that, and the other, moments. But I think this works really well.
Agreed.
I like this ending a lot. And it's nice, too, because I think this is also the first time all four characters are in the apartment but leaving together,
the scene ends. Mm-hmm.
I love that. They're such a great, like, strong group that they can just, you can just exit the show with them.
Yeah. Stage freeze.
Don't say stage freeze.
This is what I was talking about earlier, where all the storylines were interwoven. But Jerry's storyline is related to Kramer, Elaine, and George, right? Because Jerry with the audited receipts as a result of Kramer from the Krakatoans.
Uh-huh.
How is it related to Elaine? Well, he was dating Elaine, I guess. That's a reach. But then George...
So can you start over again? Start this over so I know. Yeah. You were saying these all tie into Jerry?
Well, I think Jerry's storyline relates to Kramer, Elaine, and George. George's storyline relates to Jerry only. Mm-hmm. Elaine's storyline relates to Kramer, and to reach to relate to Jerry, and then Kramer's storyline relates to Elaine and Jerry. So each character has something to do with another character of the main four. That's what I was trying to get at.
Oh, okay, so Kramer ties into Elaine.
Elaine and Jerry. Because Elaine, he dates Elaine's roommate, but then Jerry, he's responsible for the audit.
Yeah.
Elaine is related to Kramer because Kramer's dating her roommate and the coffee table. George relates to Jerry because George is dating the woman who has the papers. And then Jerry is related to Kramer because he's getting audited, Elaine because he's the one who was dating, and then George because, you know what I mean? So
yeah, there's just tighter storylines as opposed to... all four characters have a different storyline going on. That's actually one of my favorite things is to just as a way of like quizzing people. It's you take an episode and usually the title of the episode ties into at least one of the four characters' story. But then the struggle is you have to figure out what the other characters' storylines were for that episode.
And you are the best at that.
You think so?
You always bet if we have to do that game. You always best me as to. Like, you'll find out the name of the episode quicker, and you can get all four storylines.
Well, what do you... I think you're really good at, like, noticing, like, your double dippers, for example. You're really good at picking up at characters. And you're really good with quotes. I'm terrible with quotes.
Sometimes.
I'll get out of here. And we exit with a little bit of stand-up.
I was audited last year. I have been through an audit. At first I thought, well, IRS kind of sounds like Toys R Us. Maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe they have a sense of fun about it, but it's bad. It's an ordeal, and they don't do anything to keep your spirits up through the ordeal. I think they should take all your receipts and put them in one of those big lucite sweepstake drums and just kind of crank it around there. Give you a feeling like you might win something. You know what I mean?
Then they can pull them out one by one and go, oh, I'm sorry, that's another illegal deduction. But we do have some lovely parting gifts for you. Jail.
This stand-up didn't do it for me as much as the other two because we don't understand the concept of audits and the IRS. That was my justification for why I didn't get it. I love the IRS sounds like Toys R Us line, so maybe it'll be fun. I thought that was funny. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I was like, eh.
It is nice, though, that it ties into the episode a little bit. Give it points for that. But, yeah I prefer the, especially the opening bit with the button. I love that. It just goes to show, like, sometimes the material that doesn't relate to the episode is sometimes the better one.
Mm-hmm. Well, not every joke's going to kill as well. You want it to kill, but...
Killed.
Not every...
Killed.
Not every joke will. So that's just, that's real life comedy.
All right. Should we move on to our ratings?
Yeah.
So, what do you think?
This is a tricky episode to talk about. Maybe it's just the mood I'm in right now, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed a lot of the storylines for all the characters. It's really tricky. There's nothing about this episode where I'm like, God, this was really bad, or this didn't land right, or I didn't like this character's actor's performance or whatnot. It was all really solid, but I would really list this as one of the more forgettable episodes of the series. I don't think it's... I mean, when we're talking about like classic, if we're really going to focus on that aspect, the Kramer sequence in Elaine's apartment is probably the only thing that really sticks with me when you look at the series as a whole. But that being said, I liked it though at the same time, so I'm a little conflicted on what kind of score to give it. Not that it matters at all. It's still an episode I would watch over any other show. Even though this is really an episode for George and Kramer to shine in, I think that Jerry just did an incredible job this time around. It's really subtle performance stuff where I think you would only recognize it if you had the prior 19 episodes leading up to it, and you see like, okay, this guy is not an actor at all, but when he gets to these, when he gets to the scenes in this episode, he just does a lot of subtle stuff that really makes me laugh, from his delivery to, as you mentioned, like little mannerisms he does, like shaking his head while George delivers his lines. Just really subtle stuff that really shows that this guy is getting comfortable as a sitcom actor. But yeah, it's just really hard to give this episode a high rating because it doesn't stick with me like some of the rest. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give this 7 Krakatoan karma points out of 10.
That's not bad. I'll take that from you. I like this episode a lot. I watching it, I had a smile on my face. I say this every week, so I apologize. But I do agree there was that classic moment with Kramer coming out of the bedroom, Elaine's bedroom, in a towel and just flailing his limbs, strutting his stuff. But I'd also, I think we forgot to bring up the scene with George, Jerry, and Elaine in Jerry's apartment where she's like, there are plenty of things to bring up. When he's like, name one, and Elaine actually says that you're extremely careful with money. And George's reaction, I think that's a classic scene. So that stands out. I really do like how all 4 principals have equal storylines, or meaty chunks, with Jerry probably being the least. But that's okay. He always makes a great setup guy. I really do like the actress who plays Patrice, Valerie Mahaffey. And I didn't mind Patrice. I still don't think she did anything wrong to warrant George's scorn, other than just they weren't right for each other. But she's just doing her own thing. Love Tina. I want more Tina all the time. Give me more Tina. And yeah, I enjoyed this. So I'm going to keep it short, and I'm going to give this 8 Kramers out of 10.
All right, that's going to do it for us at Seincast. Vinny, could you just let everyone know how they can get in touch with us?
Sounds great, Mom. Seincast@gmail.com. Send us an email. Tell us what you like about the show. Like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter @Seincast, where you can keep up to date with our weekly posts about the show, behind-the-scenes trivia,
Also, if you haven't already, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes. The more feedback we get, the more likely other Seinfeld fans will find out about the show. So, what episode do we have for next week, Vinny?
We are going to be discussing the 3rd episode of Season 3, The Dog. You remember, Farfel?
Sure.
And I'll wager his parents are more pure than yours.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
I'll wager his parents are more pure than yours.
For now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off. Seinecast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. The official Seinfeld site can be found at sonypictures.com/TV/Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Castle Rock Entertainment or their respective trademark and copyright holders.
When do you put the sauce on?
Any other time.
No. I like to strain the sauce.